Hey everyone, just want to give an update. Day 2, hotel quarantine, Samos Island, Greece. Middle of the coronavirus pandemic, and just thought I'd share some thoughts as I walk down to the beach today. You know, there's a lot of tension in the air, a lot of anxiety, and everybody in the world right now is feeling this uncertainty. It's this sort of collective holding our breath, like wondering what's going to happen next, and feeling sad and confused and just dazed, like we've been bowled over somehow and we don't know how to respond to all of this. You know, and a friend of mine just recently sent through an article that was trying to label all of this. How do we name the sort of feeling that we're globally feeling right now? And the word that surfaced at throughout this article was the word grief. You know, we're grieving. Like the loss of a loved one. It's the same kind of process. We're grieving that which we had before we don't have anymore. It's a new normal. And we're grieving as well in anticipation that things may not be how they ever were before. And that kind of leads us through all sorts of stages. You know, stages of denial, of sadness, of anger. That all of these emotions are sort of wrapped up inside of this tension and anxiety in the air right now. Grief is a huge thing, and I think really it's a good way to label this right now. We're grieving because things aren't what we expected them to be, and they aren't what we wanted. And I think of the word want. It brings to mind some of the philosophies and religious traditions of the world, which talk about desire being the root of human suffering. Buddhism in particular has this idea. Christianity comes at it from an oblique angle. And a lot of truth can be found in that statement, that when we want something that we don't have, it creates envy, creates desire, and ultimately some kind of pain. If I sit down and think about all the things that I want right now, you know, I want to be home. I want to sleep in my own bed and shower in my own shower and cook in my own kitchen and be with the community of people that I know and that I love right down the street from me. And I can't have that right now. That's hard. That creates a certain amount of pain. And I hear you roll your eyes as you hear the surf crashing on the beach here in Greece, thinking, oh, Joel, how can you be in pain? You've got it so lucky there in Greece. But that's exactly the point, is the fact that we all want something that we don't have. The grass is greener on the other side. And when we can get through, dig through all of that to the core truth that want is creating some kind of suffering, and be content with what we have, to focus on simplicity, then we can come to a level of acceptance. And I think if anything that this whole pandemic is teaching us right now is to return to that root of simplicity. Everything you need, you already have. A place to be, food to eat, people who love you and check in on you, both virtually and in real life. I have all of these things already. Everything I need, I have. Working through that sense of desire and coming to a sense of acceptance is, I think, one way to really process a lot of this grief. But I want to take it a step further. You know, they say acceptance is kind of the end route to grief, but I think there's something more. That the next step is this creation of meaning. Not only do we accept what we have and the tools that are at our disposal, the situations that we're at, that we no longer worry about the things we can't control and just focus on the things we can. That's acceptance, but then meaning, building something from that. What can we do with the time we have, with the materials and the resources in front of us, to make this world the kind of place God would want to inhabit? And I think that's really where we need to be going with this. Not just acceptance, not just trying to process through sadness and denial and anger at all of the situations going on globally, but to move a step beyond all of it and to say, what does this mean for me? What are the things that I can do, and how can I help others? Because ultimately, that's what we're here to do. We are created beings We were created to create more. So my challenge and my call to everyone today who's just watching this is, what are you going to do once you've processed through all of this grief and this sadness and the anger, which will inevitably come through again and again and again. I mean, right now, I'm already going to feel a little bit of anger, a little bit of sadness that I have to even make this video and send it out and share it with the world. But at the same time, I want to make meaning from it as well, from this experience, and to share something that hopefully helps you. You know, and talking through my own feelings and my own experiences is a way to help myself, but also hopefully someone listening will feel inspired and be able to, I don't know, at least find some freedom from the boredom for a moment. But hopefully go out and to do something more, to create. So my challenge today is, what are you going to create? What will you create with the resources and the time at your disposal right now? Because Lord knows, we've got all the time in the world. Those are my thoughts for today. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.